All right, there we go. Good evening, good morning, and welcome to our next session, our new session of MCD Live. And today we will be talking about something that is considered very simple, and it sounds very simple because we keep on talking about it. We keep on looking at this word on social media, on different platforms. We read about it every single day. But it's actually one of the most powerful skills that we can develop. And it is our ability to notice, it is our ability to receive, and it is our ability to strengthen all the good that is in our lives. We have talked too much about overwhelm, stress, and distressing things. Today, we are going to talk about gratitude. And a lot of us, throughout our lives, we try to focus on the art of handling difficult things. We know, for a lot of us, we know how to manage our problems and how we can support other people, we talk too much about staying strong during stressful situations and how to keep on going even when things are difficult, even when times are hard. There is something we do not practice enough. That something that we should be practicing more often, and something that will actually help us allow ourselves to experience the good in life, and that is gratitude. Whenever we talk about gratitude, people think that we are telling them to ignore the bad and unfortunate events of their lives. We are telling them to ignore the difficult parts of life. But that doesn't mean, gratitude does not mean to ignore the existence of bad things. Of course, bad things exist in life simultaneously as the good ones. But our brain, as we get deeper into the discussion, we're going to see how our brain only filters out the negative part and ignores the positive part. So, we're going to talk more about how we can be grateful because as we get into the details of this, we will understand how our brain actually naturally, in its natural sense, just focuses on what is wrong and what things need to be fixed, right? Our intentional, or you can say unintentional, unconscious, you can say, focus is primarily on how we can fix things and how something is supposed to be going bad and how we're going to get out of it, right? So that ability is a natural thing. That is a natural human ability that has helped humans survive since thousands and thousands of years. But when we talk about the modern life, if we only keep on focusing on the threats, then we can actually miss out on the moments of genuine safety, connection, and progress and joy that are actually happening, alongside our struggles and daily, uh, events that may not be very fortunate. So today we will be understanding on how we can train our brain to be effectively grateful and notice those moments that will actually help us becoming more grateful. So we'll start off with a mindfulness activity. And before we start learning about gratitude, we'll just experience a small moment of it. So I want you all to sit comfortably and relax and leave your body loose and move your shoulders down as we tend to unconsciously, tighten them like this. We don't realize it, but when we are stressed, when we are in our daily, day-to-day life, when we are doing so much, we are constantly doing things unconsciously that put strain on our body, that put physical strain on us. So just loosen your shoulders, relax your chest, as it's sometimes we just cannot let go of that tightness from our chest. We are breathing rapidly. You don't have to control your breathing at the moment. Just just try to lean your body back and relax yourself and try to close your eyes if it feels comfortable. No worries if it doesn't feel comfortable, but a lot of people closing your eyes actually feels quite disturbing. Uh, so it's okay if you don't feel like closing your eyes, you can keep them open, but if it is comfortable for you, you can actually close your eyes and try to focus on your breathing pattern. Don't change anything. Do not change your breathing. Just try to focus on your breathing. Just try to focus on the breathing rhythm and allow yourself to just feel your sensations at this point. Your hands loosely fitting on the chair or wherever you are sitting, just leave your hands loose and focus on your breathing patterns. Try to breathe in through your nose and take a slow breath in. And breathe out from your mouth slowly. Let's try it once again. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out from your mouth. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out from your mouth. Just stay there. Don't open your eyes if you closed them. And stay there because just focus on your body. Because a lot of times during the day, our mind is already somewhere else. We may be trying to focus on something we want to do. We want to read a book. We want to listen to music. And even when we are listening to the music, the calm music that is supposed to calm us down, our mind is going elsewhere. So stay where you are. Think about what happened yesterday. Think about what happened yesterday. And then slowly bring your attention back to your body. You might be able to struggle. You would be able to struggle while you are trying to bring that focus from yesterday and tomorrow to the present. You don't have to solve any problem right now. You don't have to carry any responsibility right now. You are free of any responsibility, any problem solving at this moment. You just have to focus on your breathing pattern. And for the next few moments, for the next few seconds, there is absolutely nothing that you need to fix. You don't have to achieve absolutely anything. You have all that you need right here. Just focus and notice. Bring your attention to your body. Notice your breathing. And just ask yourself, what is that one small thing that is okay in my life right now? That is good in my life right now. Doesn't have to be a huge achievement or a perfect thing. It just has to be very, very small. Maybe it could be how the weather is right now. Maybe you might have a safe place to sit right now. Maybe you might have someone who cares for you. Or a very small achievement. Maybe you were able to cook for yourself today. And what is that one thing that I have today that my past version would have appreciated. Something. It could be a skill that you learned. It could be a relationship that you formed. It could be a strength that developed in you after you went through a difficult time in your life. Maybe it is simply the fact that you are trying, because a lot of people don't try. Maybe you are trying to do something. You being present in today's session means that you are trying to do something. So focus on that trial, try, and take one more deep breath as you are focusing on that. And keep it in for a second and breathe out. And one last breathing in and breathing out from your mouth. Do not open your eyes yet. Just focus right now. And remember that these small things are the beginning of what we are learning today. The small exercise is the beginning of what you will be learning today. Now, when you feel ready, try to open your eyes. Try to open your eyes and slowly focus as you are back from that phase. You can share it in the comment on the chat box how it made you feel. You can share it in the comments in the chat box. Now we are going to move forward and understand why our brain notices problems first. So, why does our brain notices problems first? There's something I shared in the beginning, that our brain has learned to detect threats, right? It actually helps us survive. For thousands and thousands of years, um, one who noticed the dangers quite quickly, they were able to survive longer. How? Now let's consider this situation. If someone actually saw movement in the bushes, um, they would immediately think that this could be a threat, right? And the person who actually understood the presence of threat, they had better chances at survival than the one who actually ignored it. Because once you detect a threat, you do something to survive. You take measures to survive and stay safe. And the person who ignores an actual threat, of course, they are putting themselves in the face of danger. Now, because of this thing, because of evolution, um, our brain has developed something that we refer to as the negativity bias. Negativity bias is what? It means that our negative experience usually get our attention much faster than uh, than the than the positive ones, and they also stay in our memory much longer than the positive experiences. Now let's imagine if someone gives you 10 compliments, or you get 10 compliments from 10 different people, and you get one complaint, one criticism. What does your mind usually replay later on? I would personally play the 10 compliments and feel good about it, because I have started practicing gratitude. But how about all of you? What do you all think? You can share it. If, like, usually people would replay the criticism part, they would start questioning themselves and thinking about it, and thinking to a point where they would start stressing out about it, right? So, for a lot of people, not all, but a lot of people, criticism stays much longer. It feels and speaks much louder. It's not because the criticism is true. It is not definitely not the case. It doesn't have to be true. It's just because the negative information is given more priority in our brain. Negative information is negative experiences are mostly noticed faster, and they are remembered more strongly. That is just the negativity bias that our brain goes through. And negative experiences are also given more importance during decision making. We are just bound to do things for our survival. But this is something that creates problems, right? Because your brain may be scanning for what is wrong even when there are a lot of things that are going right. You can actually have a peaceful day. You may notice this, but your mind is still focusing on a stressful conversation. You might have gone for a day out to the countryside, and your mind would be constantly thinking about that one conversation that you had with a friend yesterday, where she was rude to you or said things that she shouldn't have. So, even in a situation like that, you're just constantly thinking about it. And even if you achieve something meaningful, you immediately focus on things that you didn't achieve. You can receive love, you can be loved, but you're always worried about losing it, losing the person you love. So, gratitude in these situations, you not all of us have it in a natural way. Some of us have to learn it. And as everything, as every skill that we have learned about so far, gratitude is also a skill that we can learn and develop through practice. Now, it is helping our brain actually focus and notice the full reality and not just the difficult parts, or the struggles or the progress or the pain or just that. It helps us focus on all the parts, all the goodness and the badness and everything combined, not just the bad part, right? So just reflect for a moment, and I want you to think about your typical day every day. Like, just think about today. Where does your attention naturally go? What do you think about? Do you usually think about what went wrong, or what should be done, or what could go wrong, or what could be a problem? Do you actually focus on this, or are you actually focus on what actually went well? I achieved a lot during the day. I did this and this during the day. And what is something that made me feel better today? So you can have a mix of both. You can be more aligned and inclined towards one type of perception, but you may be able to understand once you answer this that where your mind actually, how does your mind actually operate? And by the end of this question answers with your brain, you need to ask yourself that what is that one good thing that that about my life that I have become so used to that I don't even notice it anymore. It could be you waking up on time. It could be you taking care of your children. It could be absolutely anything that you do during the day which you feel is a usual part of your life. It could be absolutely anything. You can share it in the chat box if you want to. But anyhow, we need to understand that our positive emotions and our attention towards positive qualities, positive things, and good things in our life matter just as much as we focus our attention on the struggles and how we deal with our struggles. So let's talk about the broaden and build theory, which is by psychologist Barbara Fredrickson. She developed the broaden and build theory, which actually explains how the positive emotions they influence our mind and our life. When we experience difficult emotions, let's say fear, anger, shame, guilt, what do all these emotions do to us? They narrow down our attention. They 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 try to limit our attention. Of course, it is very helpful in emergency situations where you need to have narrowed attention, right? If there is danger, your brain actually wants you to stay focused and on just one thing, focused on one thing alone. So you want to deal with a possible threat, right? But if we constantly stay in this state, what will happen? Our entire world will become smaller. We will only see problems. We will only see risks. We will only see what needs to be fixed. And when it comes to positive emotions, it works much differently. How does that work? Positive emotions basically, they help us think creatively. They help us see more possibilities. They help us connect much better with others. And they also um, help us build the resources within ourselves that actually strengthen our emotions, strengthen our the good feelings, the good hormones in our body, right? So positive emotions actually expand the limit of our attention, while the negative emotions actually limit and narrow down our attention, right? So when we actually try to experience moments of gratitude, moments of connection, curiosity, focusing more on what went good and more on appreciating, even if it's a small thing, we will actually move towards resilience. We will actually be um, more resilient. So, how can we actually become more effectively grateful? It is when we intentionally do it, right? Instead of just going around and buying gratitude journals and leaving it on the table for months and not filling it at all, let's be more practical about how we can actually be grateful. You can be grateful by practicing gratefulness intentionally. And there are three things that actually make, as you must have read, the topic of our conversation today is how to be effectively grateful, right? Something that's actually going to bring about a change in your life, right? So, first thing you have to do is be specific. Be specific when you are being grateful. Be specific. Instead of saying, I am grateful for my family, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful to it. You can actually phrase your sentences like, I am grateful for the conversation I had with my mother today, where I felt heard, I was supported. So many people struggle when it comes to being supported, to be heard. So many people struggle to be heard. So if you had a moment like that, instead of just saying, I'm grateful for my mother, I'm grateful for my family, you can actually say, I am grateful for the conversation I had with my mother today, where I actually felt heard and supported. So, when you are actually using specific moments, you are being specific about things that you are grateful for, you are helping the brain reconnect with the actual feeling rather than it just being a surface level gratitude. It's not penetrating deep in your heart, it's not connecting it with your internal state. When you are just saying, I'm grateful for my family, that's just a statement. Be specific. Connect that statement to your heart. I am grateful for so and so because it made me feel so and so in such and such moment where I needed to be heard. Right? So be specific. This is the first step towards being effectively grateful. Then try to look out for new things. Our brain, although it feels very hard, but it does, our brain has the capacity to adapt very quickly, right? And if we repeat the same gratitude list every single day, we will stop truly noticing it, right? If we keep on telling ourselves in the morning, I'm grateful for God, I'm grateful for my family, I'm grateful for my job, eventually it's not going to be much helpful, right? You have to find new things every single day. It could be a peaceful morning or the birds chirping. They make you feel better in the morning. You wake up, you see, you may have your pet dog or your pet cat. You may be grateful for them. Or someday it could be just a task that you completed, something that you did, or a conversation with a friend that made you smile or rethink of the good memories, right? So look out for new things to be grateful every day. Create a new list of grateful things to be grateful for every single day. Look out for new things. right? So be specific, look out for new things. And the third thing, allow yourself to savor that moment of gratefulness. Whenever good things happen in our life, whenever good moments come in our life, we just immediately want to move on and we just get done with things, right? If someone appreciates us, we will focus on it for a while, and again we will move on to thinking about how can we improve and why did they say so and so things, what could be their motive behind it, instead of jumping right into the negative thoughts. Try to stay in that moment and feel the goodness of that moment. When something good happens, we are constantly thinking about, like for instance, if when it comes to having children, we are constantly thinking about how we are going to take care of their expenses and their education, and we're thinking so long, like so long term, like things that are going to come after years and years. Of course it's good to plan, but we start worrying too much at the moment when we are looking at our children, and we are not just focusing on that moment when we are looking at them playing and smiling and talking to us, their existence, just their existence in our lives. That is such a beautiful moment to cherish, right? So just stay in that moment. Give yourself some time before you can move forward with worrying about it, before you can move forward with planning things. Of course, you should give yourself some time to enjoy that moment and feel that moment. And all of this does not mean that there are not no bad things in your life. It does not mean that there are no unfortunate things in your life. It just means that you are giving some good time to yourself as well. You are taking out time from your life for your own betterment, for your own goodness as well. So we will do a small gratitude activity right now. And I just want you to think about uh something good that happened recently. And by keeping this entire process of being effectively grateful, you have to keep that in your mind when you are doing this activity. I want you to think about something good that happened in your life. It could be anything. It could be a conversation, a plan that came into action, a peaceful moment, or a cup of coffee that you had with a friend, a long lost friend, or something you achieved. And I want you to think about and reflect about, why was this moment so important to me? Why was this good moment so important for me? And in that particular moment, what feeling it created for you? How did it made you feel? Right? How did you feel in that particular moment when that so and so thing happened? And I want you to say this affirmation to yourself. Today, I want to remember this, and this. You can share it in the chat box. I would love to read it. Um, if anybody wants to share it, please share it. I would love to read it. Today, I want to remember. I will write it as, today, I want to remember that I met a very long lost friend a week ago, and we had a great time together. We had a great time together. And this matters to me because it made me feel good. It made me feel happy. And just think about it and just tell yourself that today I am grateful for this. Vardhini, this is the name of the theory. It is known as the broaden and build theory. Here you go. So this is the broaden and build theory, and I believe this is the one you were asking about, right? So I want you all to either tell yourself that today I want to remember and why I'm grateful, what I'm grateful for. So I believe nobody wants to share it in the chat box. That's fine. It's okay. You can tell it to yourself. No worries. You can reflect on it and share it with yourself, right? So many people, they actually spend a lot of time on focusing what they have to improve. But when we focus on the dynamics of positive psychology, we already believe there is something strong and something good within you. And there is something that you can call a quality that exists within you. So you have to ask yourself, what is already strong within me? This is the dynamic, this is the phenomena of, this is the idea behind positive psychology, that what is already good within me. Everyone has strengths. Okay, researchers have time and time when they have worked on positive psychology. There's a researcher known as Seligman and Peterson. They had a research study conducted in which they identified some character strength, and they may exist one or two or three in every person. All right, those character strengths had creativity, curiosity, kindness, compassion, courage, honesty, perseverance, love, and gratitude, and so and so and so. So out of all of you here, all at least one of these must be present in you, right? And every single one of us has those strengths, but we tend to overlook them because they seem like normal things to us. For a lot of us, those good things, those character strengths have been normalized so much that we don't appreciate ourselves for it. When we talk about courage, there might be moments in your life when you dealt with those moments very courageously, but you don't tell yourself that I'm grateful for being courageous. I'm a courageous person. You are honest, you don't lie, but you never tell yourself or appreciate yourself for being honest. You love people very deeply. You are always grateful for the people around you, but you don't say it to yourself. You don't thank yourself for that. So a naturally kind person, they would say that anybody would do that. So, a lot of times when people say that, why do kind people suffer so much? Because they believe that anybody could be kind. They believe that kindness is supposed to be a natural virtue, but maybe it is not. For everybody, it is not. Not everybody is kind. And that is why it hurts a lot for kind people when they get hurt or something bad happens to them. So a patient person may think that if I'm patient, everybody's supposed to be patient. Why is she so impatient in so and so situation? So what may seem natural to you may be something valuable, and it's just natural to you because you believe it should exist everywhere because you have it. It's normalized for you. So you need to look out for your strengths and focus on this, that what is that one quality that people appreciate about me? Someone may call you honest, patient, and you may not believe it. Or what is that strength that has actually, helped me during my difficult moments? For me, it was my resilience. It was my strength. It was my trust in my abilities. And how can I actually use the strength this week? I will be sharing this activity in which all these prompts will be there. And you have to keep on asking yourself and actually create a week-based activity where you will be savoring yourself. How do you savor yourself? By intentionally staying with those positive experiences instead of getting over them. So this week, we will be practicing this activity. First, you have to look out for that one quality that people appreciate about you. Then, what is that strength that has helped you through difficult moments? And how can I actually use this strength in this coming week? So this will be shared with all of you. Now, I want you to, before we come to the closing, let's do this activity, which I want all of you to do. And one of the most carried out activities when it comes to gratitude is the three good things practice. This is something that every positive psychology activity will definitely have, right? So I want you to write three things that actually went well during your day. Or you can write it down, or you can just add one sentence that today this and this thing went well. And it went well because, be specific here. It went well because so and so and so. Now, this will actually help you in creating a sense of positivity in your mind. You will have three things to remember by the end of this meeting that will actually make you feel better. I resigned from my workplace because I was experiencing constant anxiety as I couldn't get along with my manager. I feel grateful for supportive people in my circle who supported my decision and are taking care of me. I feel a lot of gratitude these days. That is absolutely wonderful. You are amazing for appreciating the good that you have in your life. And that's wonderful. I'm very happy for you for taking this step. It takes a lot of courage to do this. It takes a lot of, I would say, it takes immense strength to get out of a situation like that. So kudos to you. You should appreciate yourself for being courageous. You should be grateful to your own self for being courageous, right? So that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Muskan, yes, Muskan. So we have Vardhini. I think it is extremely important to approach life events with the beginner's mind. Yes, absolutely. And with the curiosity of as if one is looking at someone and something for the very first time. Yes, that is a very unique perspective, and that is a very helpful perspective. When you start to look from the beginner's lens, you will have the possibility of looking towards it through different perceptions and develop new perceptions. It will actually help you not become rigid, not become stubborn. So it's absolutely right. Another way you can be grateful by always being open to experiences from different perceptions. Would anybody else like to share anything? Or I can share a weekly activity that you could do in the coming week, and then we can call it a day. If for the rest of the 7 days, I would like to tell you all, if you would be able to do it, that you can note it down if you want to. For the next 7 days, this will actually help you in becoming more grateful. Okay. So for the next 7 days, in the morning when you wake up, every time you wake up, just notice and choose one strength that you want to practice intentionally. Now, it could be any strength. It could be courage, it could be kindness. You could plant a tree. You could feed a hungry animal or a thirsty animal. Anything that is that goes with your values, something that you believe in. Choose that one strength in you and practice it intentionally. Do one thing about that strength in the morning, every day. Then the next thing you have to do is this three good things activity that I told you. From your day at the end, you don't have to open a journal. Many people find it exhausting to open a journal and write it down. You can open the notes application in your phone, or you can create a WhatsApp message to your own self and send those three strengths to your own self at the end of the day. Tell yourself, why am I grateful for today? What were those three things that happened today that I'm really grateful for? And just focus on these two things at night and thank yourself for it. Gratefulness is supposed to be towards your own self as well. Thanking your own self as well is very important. So I want you to do these things for the next 7 days. Focus on what is something that you believe is your strength, that you believe is supposed to help you out during the day. Carry out that strength in the day, and focus on three things that happened during the day. By the end of the day, you have to write them down somewhere so you can read it and be grateful and appreciative of yourself. So before we close the session, We know by now that our brain is naturally designed to notice the problems first, and it does not mean you're a negative person. You are not a negative person if you are noticing the bad things, and if things are bad or you're struggling, it just means that you are a human who has been through the the process of evolution, thousands and thousands of years of evolution, right? So you're just a human being with natural instincts of negativity bias, and you can overcome this and get over this by training your muscles. We train our muscles through repetition, by working out, by repetition, and by exercises. We can also train our attention. We can also train our brain, right? When we start to notice what is good, we go for workouts, to the gym, for physical activities. The same can be done for our brain. It is also trainable. You can learn to notice what is good. You can learn to focus more on the kindness that you got and appreciate the progress that you made. Now, gratitude does not mean that you ignore the difficult experiences. This is something you should know by the end of the session. We do not believe in ignoring the difficult experiences. It just means that in the middle of these difficult experiences, there are also moments that need to be cherished, moments of love, moments of growth, moments of peace. If you have a room by yourself, to yourself, take that room, stay there, and practice mindfulness. And as we close this session today, I want you all to ask yourself, what is good about myself that I do not notice very often? What is something that I need to often focus more on about myself? Something that nobody has appreciated yet, but I know it exists deep in me. Reflect, and thank yourself for that. Would anybody like to share anything? Please share it in the chat box or raise your hands, or we can call it a day. But I would really want you all to practice the weekly activity. It's very important. It's going to help you out with this practice. And I would try to somehow get you that prompt for the activity so you can practice it. It's that resource so you can practice it once we are offline as well. So we do not have anyone who would like to share anything. We so are we Okay, we are good for the day then. All right then. I think we can call it a day, and I will be seeing you all tomorrow at the same time and using the same link. Okay, Noor, how to deal with perfectionism? Perf you can deal with perfectionism by believing. Yes, even random acts of kindness help. You can deal with perfectionism by understanding human limitations, by understanding that as human beings, you have certain limitations, and those are natural limitations. And you cannot fight that. You cannot absolutely fight those limits. You can try your best, you can give your best, but at the same time, understand that there are limitations. And there is no such thing as a perfect state of mind or perfect state of physical well-being. There would be hindrances. We discussed this yesterday as well, that you believing that some state of perfection has to exist at some point in your life, whether it's physical well-being, it's emotional well-being, it's a fallacy in itself. You cannot come or bring yourself to a state of perfectionism, right? Because it doesn't exist. The world of perfectionism doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. You can, however, work towards the best possible self. Work towards achieving that sense of self where you are at your best. At your best, not perfect. There's a difference between perfect. You will have flaws in your best sense of self. You will have problems. You will have discrepancies in your sense of reality and sense of what you want to be, sense of ideal, who you ideally want to be. There will be discrepancies, but just work. Don't focus too much on what you cannot change. Understand your limitations. Understand that there is something you can control and something you cannot control. You can only control here. You cannot control what's going outside of here. Outside of here, the events are not in your control. As we discussed the locus of control yesterday, we talked about external stability, internal stability. Keep working on keeping the internal stability as your goal, not the external stability. Your internal stability is the goal. And that will stay stable when you understand that you cannot change the events of your life, the physical events, the outside events, but you can learn how to deal with them better, right? And you can start practicing being okay with being good enough. You are good enough. You have to understand you are good enough. As I said, focus on that one thing that is good about you. There must be something. There definitely must be something. So, Arpini, I'm a clinical psychologist. I'm a clinical psychologist, and this is my field, the field I absolutely love. And here I am, and I'm very, very grateful to all of you for being here today. And I hope to see all of you tomorrow at the same time and same link. See you all. Thank you so much for joining, and bye bye.